I am back. This is d4gr0n, and we are going to be doing Super Ghouls and Ghosts with the torch, which I currently hold in my possession here. There's the better weapon over there, but we are not going to be doing the a traditional d4gr0n. Okay, so how we're going to start this run is going to be a little complicated, but not so much. Traditionally, when you start Super Ghouls and Ghosts, you start with the lance, and then this stone slab that I'm actually standing on here, or crouching on, is where we spawn our first chest traditionally, and this can open either one of a crossbow, a torch, or a dagger. And you're kind of rolling the dice, but since we are looking for a specific type of weapon, I don't want to end up going through the entire run and not get a torch to drop at all. So what we're going to do with this timer here is I'm going to intentionally die, and then I'm going to start the run as soon as I gain control. So that's how we're going to do this. So I'm going to do just that, and we'll get started. All right. Let's go. Okay. I'm going to just get rid of them. So, Super Ghouls and Ghosts is a real tough game, and there's a lot of ways you can get trolled. Beginning with this level here, a lot of these mobs are, in fact, random. And, right off the bat there... Oh, God, yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about here. You have to worry about zombies doing that. And, sometimes they will do that pattern while, while you're trying to do a rather big jump. So there's a number of weapons you can grab in this game, and most of them are terrible. I mentioned about the dagger. That is easily the best weapon of the game. It's long range, it's rapid fire, and its boosted weapon damage is also really high damage. And its magic is incredibly overpowered. But, well, it turns out that there is another somewhat competitive weapon in terms of damage, and that is the weapon we have right here. But, there is a problem with this weapon, and that is the fact it's really, really low range. So there's a lot of threats that usually are far enough away from you that it's hard to actually land hits with the torch, and it won't become too apparent early enough in the game, but later on in each of the loops, you're going to understand. Okay, and don't worry about that little glitchy... Okay, yeah, that hitbox of that cockatrice when she extends the neck is really terrible. And you also have to watch out for the feet, because that thing can the feet can also have a hitbox that you can get hit by. So, in the speedrun of Super Ghouls and Ghosts, you'll notice we jump a lot, like the stationary jump, and this saves some frames for every time you do it over the standard running animation. We're actually gonna kill this ghost. Hopefully that does not cause too much lag. You want to actually keep moving as fast as you can here, because this stage tends to lag a lot. We're gonna do a damage boost here. Don't worry, this is all intentional. And we're going to spawn certain types of chests. And I'll go more into why in a moment, once I get past this part here. And head into probably the single biggest reason a lot of people don't usually pick up this game, and that is this particular auto-scroller. This is a 4-minute long auto-scroller, and at the end is a boss. You die at any point in this auto-scroller, and that includes the boss. You are sent back to exactly the point where you first land on a raft for this thing. So, ideally, I do not want to die. And thankfully, that won't happen, likely with Torch, because doing this part with Torch is actually easier than you might think. You just usually have to stay ahead of the auto-scroller. So, I'm actually not going to open that chest there, because I already know that's a magician. So, chests in this game are actually not random. They're actually set standard drops. And what determines what you get out of the chest depends on what order you spawn the chests and what armor you are currently wearing when you open the chest. So let's say you have the regular steel armor and you open the second chest. It's always going to be the green bronze armor, which is the first upgraded armor. And then if you open the third chest with the bronze armor, you actually get gold armor. Whoa, that was close. Yeah, so I don't want to actually take any hits here. At some point in this auto-scroller, we're going to get bronze armor back. Because with steel armor, you get bronze armor back on not just the second chest, but on the fifth chest. And, yeah, so understanding what chests how many chests you spawn and what comes out of each chest is very key to learning the speed run. It's can be somewhat complicated when starting runs off. So, I guess since I haven't really talked too much about the weapons, the other weapons in this game that is not the dagger and torch, you have the crossbow, you have the scythe, you have the axe. I'm trying to think of what the other one was, but there is the tri-blade, the best of them all, the tri-blade, which has the worst magic in the game, and it's pretty hard to utilize in most cases, because it's much like the torch in that, well, it isn't, well, I mean, it's better range than the torch, but it mostly shoots its way up in the trajectory, and then sort of flies straight down. So I mean, it's good for dealing with threats directly above you, and there are a number of enemies, a number of threats that will come from above me, and that's why I'm not as scared dealing with most threats. Okay. So, Arthur's sprite's kind of freaking out here. I'm not really sure why, but I have to get set up here, since there's a quick kill here. And thankfully, he did not shoot anything. Sometimes this guy can be enough of a troll. Wow, that was close. And we didn't get an extra wave cycle there, so that was actually really good. Yeah, you have to be prepared for whatever the game's gonna throw at you. And this stage in particular exemplifies that. Yeah, so I probably could have jumped over there, but I don't like taking too much of a risk. Okay, this is a pretty aggressive pattern by the bear. So, whew, he's really doing some fast patterns. I normally don't know what to do about that with the torch. The torch, that's a good example of the limitations of the torch, but here's an example where the torch really comes in handy. These imps here like to be big trolls. I couldn't really do much about that pattern there, but just gonna take him out just like that. And yeah, you can see how the torch is able to deal with threats that are much lower to the ground, where weapons that shoot straight have a bit of problems trying to hit the imps. And the imps are especially a problem because if you are directly aligned with them, like either above or horizontally directly to the side of them, they will sometimes beeline charge you, and even with a shield, it will not protect you from them. Like, they can get right through that hitbox, and they will hit you. It's almost a guarantee if they do that. So, yeah, that armor's not really a big deal. Sometimes he can give you a very delayed pattern and can hit you. Normally this isn't a big deal, though, because the checkpoint is literally right at these towers. So at this point, the armor's not really a big threat anymore. The bats are kind of a threat, though. And what's especially important is spawning that chest right there. You might have saw that chest spawn there. That is intentional. And it's because the chest coming up after this one is going to be my gold armor. And I want this. I need gold armor up to this point, because trying to get gold armor anywhere else is usually kind of a time loss. So, now coming up is the part that I really don't like to do with Dagger, and that's these guys. Remember I said threats sometimes come from above you? Well, oh, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. That's supposed to be my gold armor. Yeah, so the next tower here, they'll dive bomb you from above, and eventually at some point in this tower, you're going to be so low that you're not going to see them coming. And you have to anticipate that they're going to be coming at any given opportunity. Okay, so that was actually pretty good patterns all around. Now, normally there's a pretty awesome little quick kill with Dagger, but we do things a little differently with Torch. Okay, that was a bad start. This guy has a really weird hitbox. You can actually see that it looks like I'm hitting him, but sometimes it doesn't actually register a hit, and that's just due to the really weird hitbox detection of that fight. Right, so now we're on to stage 4, and this tends to be the one that gets a lot of even professional runners with just bad patterns. These blue ghosts, they can sometimes troll you and just spawn at the perfect time to hit you while coming out of these bone cages here that rotate the stage itself. So I'm going to take this part here a little bit safe. There's faster ways of doing this part with Torch, but I do want to at least carry gold armor to the... I do want to... Oh my god, yeah, I'm taking that hit. That's unfortunate. So, chances are I'm going to have to take an intentional death. Yeah. You'd see how risky it is to deal with some of this. I didn't want to actually take that hit, because there's something I actually want to show off in Stage 5, but sometimes you're going to take that hit in Stage 4, and, well, just have to deal with the consequences. So, after this section here is going to be a auto-scroller. This one's a little shorter, but before we actually do the auto-scroller, I'm actually going to take an intentional death. This is kind of a safety strat, because I don't want to accidentally die on the boss here. Otherwise, I start this auto-scroller again, and I don't want that to happen. Now, hopefully I don't jinx myself by actually dying here. This auto-scroller can be a little glitchy at times. I'm gonna just hang back here a little bit. Just gonna kind of wait for the geyser here to finish doing its thing. Okay, so yeah, right there you just saw that imp wanted to take a complete beeline charge at me, and that's because I was directly aligned with his, with him horizontally. That's what causes them to do that. So it's a little scary trying to deal with the imps. That's why you gotta kind of take it a little bit safe. So we're coming up to the end here, and the fight here is a little weird, actually. If any source of damage overlaps 2 or 3 of the heads of this Hydra, it actually does more damage to them, which is not going to be shown well because I don't have gold armor. But this isn't the reason why I wanted gold armor. The reason I did want it was for a particular glitch that I normally do in my runs. Also, this fight is very laggy. Oh, this could be bad. Come on, run my redhead. Wow, thanks, dude. Okay, jeez. So after a little bit of time, they actually waste your time by doing some sort of weird phase where they start, you start seeing miniatures, semblances of themselves. Alright, so what is he gonna do? Okay. So it looks like I spawned the bad luck flower. This could be a bad situation, especially with the weapon that I have. Gonna do a little bit of slam dunk strats here. It's a nice, quick and easy way to kill them off. Alright, what's gonna happen? Oh, I didn't actually spawn bad luck flower. Nice. I actually spawned one of the other flowers. And it was probably the best one I could have gotten, too. Alright, I'm gonna have to wait for that projectile. This guy gave me a good pattern as well. So, level 5 is a pretty glitchy level, and unfortunately I will not get the chance to show off the better one of the two, but we'll do the avalanche glitch, which is something more people are familiar with. You've seen it before, so nothing will surprise you at this point. This is really, really intense on the lag, too, sometimes. Just due to the snow effects going on with too many enemies on screen. I'm gonna wait on this pattern of ghosts. I don't want to deal with this armor while I got to worry about these wolves here. Or, well, I had to deal with the ghosts. Alright, good. Oh, this could be dangerous. Yeah, so I'm kind of playing with fire here. The armors like to stick around for a little while. Okay, yeah, we're gonna just take that death. I don't want to deal with the avalanche section while I'm in basic armor. It's not fun. Better just deal with not having to deal with the armor there. Oh my god, Jesus. Okay, let's do that again. Don't have to worry about this wolf, he always jumps. Alright, let's try that again. So, what I'm gonna actually do here is I'm going to let the avalanche interrupt my magic here. And normally when you do activate the magic and something interrupts your movement, it will actually, cause that invincibility state that you normally have when popping magic. And, yeah, by doing that, you actually get full invincibility. The avalanches can still kill you, because if you're on solid ground and they catch you, they will drag you off. And, in the case of, in the case of the fact that I'm invincible, I won't actually take a hit to the spikes. So, that's why I don't want to, get caught by the avalanches while in that invisible state. So I got gold armor here, so I'm actually gonna go through the stage normally. Alright, got rid of that armor there. And hopefully we get rid of this guy. This guy can be a bit of a problem. Okay, he was not nice. Okay, that's, we're going to... I guess we're going to do this the normal way. This could be a little scary, but, I believe in the torch, so... Gonna actually throw a torch right away so that this armor doesn't decide to be a troll. Wow, that was close. Sometimes you take that risk. So, Astaroth is a terrible fight with torch. Going to bait out that attack there. Astaroth, please. Oh, God. This is precisely not the start I wanted. Yeah, so when you're dealing with this fight with torch, you gotta bait out the fire attack. It's too much to deal with. And, the flame and the laser actually are set to track your current position, so it can be very scary dealing with it. We dealt with it. Thankfully, we did not take a death there. That was a little sloppy, though. I do want to show off this fight, though, what I do with gold armor. And hopefully not die for it, because it's a scary strat. Like, pretty much everything with the torch. Okay. That actually was exactly what I wanted. So, late game is where the torch really struggles compared to the dagger. There's just a lot of ways to deal with many of these threats with dagger. And especially since in Stage 5, you don't have to glitch it at all. And you can just carry gold armor all the way to the end of the loop. So this guy has a really scary hitbox sometimes, but we handled it just fine. Going to just get up here to activate this chest spawn. Also, knowing where the chest spawn, where its triggers are at, is good. Because that allows you to deal with... that allows you to to upgrade much faster. Oh, good. Goodness, please, dude. Alright. That was close. Yeah, so sometimes the birds will actually troll you by throwing projectiles at you, and it's kind of hard to navigate. So we're coming up to the Astaroth/Nebiroth fight. This is a pretty awful fight. Most people tend to struggle with this fight, and especially on the, especially when you don't have dagger and when dealing with the fight with Goddess Bracelet, which you're forced to do. You're forced to consider that. Alright, so we dealt with Astaroth. Oh! Oh my goodness, yeah. I paid for it. Well, that's unfortunate, but we're gonna do that again. I almost had it, but not quite. Come on, dude. You saw how quickly it actually deals with the fight, though. And, yeah, that's how you normally want to deal with Astaroth, because for whatever reason, the shield has an easier time getting rid of the flame. Unfortunately, though, I decided to not pop the shield again, which was a costly mistake there. But we'll try again. And, I was hoping to get past him again. Oh, this could be a problem. I'm going to wait for this imp to come to me. Because... Oh, come on, dude. Okay, now that we dealt with him, let's get past the bird. Yeah, you don't... Sometimes it's better to just take the situation a little on the slower side. Alright, let's try again. Oh, man, come on, dude. Okay, so sometimes the armor will actually do that. So I'm actually going to ignore that shield. Shields can actually be upgraded, but the blue shield... The thing with the shields is they lag the game. They kind of count like an extra enemy spray. Are you kidding me with these patterns, dude? Get down here, dude. Thank you. Yeah, so... This is what I mean, how range can be a little bit of a problem with this weapon. You're kind of just forced to wait on their patterns. Alright, so... Round 2 with Nebiroth. Astaroth and Nebiroth. And hopefully I don't get a bad pattern here. Normally I do clear it second try if I do die. Alright. That's good. Okay. It's okay. We got him this time. That's fine. So, yeah, you're kind of playing with fire with that strat. But that time I knew what to do in case I didn't want to... Your options there is to either hope he doesn't move back to the right when you get hit the first time, or you could try to quickly jump to the left side and not get tagged by him, but that can also be something you can get screwed by, because if he could just move left and just... You're done if that happens. So... You kind of have to read the situation. It was a scary situation, but there's one special thing about Astaroth as a whole. If you duck when he's near you, he will actually stop all of his movement. That's how I was able to manipulate his pattern to do his movement to do exactly what I wanted the first time around with Basic Torch, and that's how you got to deal with the fight when you're stuck with that weapon. Which is exactly what I did there. So, while that was not the prettiest fight, we are in an actually advantageous position here with basic armor. Doing this level with gold armor is terrible. Like, it is atrocious. There is so much lag that you just cannot... you need to get rid of the shield. It is so bad, the lag, when you have shield in this particular level. I'm just gonna jump over that zombie. Actually manipulates the zombies to not spawn further ahead of you if you don't kill that one. Not a little choice there. So, I'll be doing the second half here with just the basic torch, and that is a little scarier, but I will be doing slightly safer strats. Just gotta make sure I get to the halfway point, which is not until you reach here. Alright, so now, actually gonna be... These things require 2 torches to kill with the basic torch, so it is still pretty scary. Alright, so I think the next one will be my bronze armor. I'm gonna just take this part safe. This one's not worth trying to do risky. Let's see here. No, it was a magician. Okay, so I missed a chest spawn. But that's fine. Doing this fight with basic torch is not bad either. Oh god. Let's... Yeah. Yeah, just had to take it a little safe. That's fine, though. Yeah, so, unfortunately, as is tradition with the Ghouls and Ghosts franchise, you have to do it one more time. It's tradition, and normally most runs will do both loops. There is, however, a category for this game for just the first loop, and there are a number of runners that have done it first loop. So, I mean, if you want to at least take a crack at this game, you could try the one loop category, just to see if it's your cup of tea as a game, as a run in general. Yeah, so mostly we're just treading the same sort of territory. The second loop is a little more difficult. There are a few differences. This is also the loop, however, where you will finally get what is needed to actually beat the final boss, and that is the Goddess Bracelet. And how this weapon works, this weapon, you have to be as close as you can to the enemy's hitbox. Oh. So, in a normal run, I probably would consider taking that weapon, but, well, this is a torch run. We're not going to take the dagger. That is the top-tier weapon right there. That dinky little knife there is the best weapon in the game. And, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Goddess Bracelet. The closer you are to an enemy, the more damage it does. The further away you are from your target, the less damage the Goddess Bracelet does. So you have to take quite a few risks with that weapon, especially to do the best possible damage with. So, level 2, for the most part, in Loop 2 is just, I think, just more ghost spawns in the first part. Doesn't really... And I guess the fishes are a little more aggressive when they start charging towards you. But otherwise, it's more or less the same sort of deal with Stage 2. Stage 2 is not really too different. Stage 1 is actually one of the hardest levels in the game, and especially in Loop 2. Just many things can go wrong in it. The ads can do all sorts of random things. This is a naturally pretty random game, for the most part. But what sets the best runners apart from the... from most other, you know, gamers and such is that we know what to do in the case of the worst possible scenario, which is when we get hit or when we grab the wrong weapon by accident, which we thankfully haven't done so far in this run. And I'm trying to think of what else to actually talk about because, unfortunately, this is a pretty boring level when I don't really have anything to actually talk about. Oh, I guess the boosted weapon. So when I talk about the boosted weapon, I'm talking about that where I perform a double jump and the weapon starts flashing blue and orange. And that happens when you perform a double jump and then throw a weapon right afterwards. Arthur will do like a flip of some sort. And that's how you know you actually threw a boosted weapon. The torch actually, its boosted weapon, the boosted torch actually does less damage than the regular one. Really strange decision. I don't know why they decided to do that. Maybe they thought 10 damage was more than enough for the torch. But we roll with that, and that's kind of why I don't perform the boosted. That's why I don't normally boost the torch in the actual run. It tends to. It tends to cost me and whatnot. So there's that extra wave, the rotation that I didn't want to actually take, but that is fine. We'll take that. So here is another level where you're going to see a few changes, and it is primarily the Woo Bears. Their flame breath has longer reach, and that makes a couple of jumps here really, really scary, and almost too risky to even consider. Okay, that's a pretty aggressive pattern, but we'll see if we can beat him out. Oh, okay. That was a little risky, but... Oh, God. Okay. Get out of here, Im. We're gonna actually wait on this pattern here. Oh, no, he delayed it. Okay, that's good. That's fine. So I want to kill this guy before he reaches the ladder. Alright, so because I'm naked now, basically, I'm going to take an intentional death at the checkpoint. This is pretty much the more ideal way to handle the situation here. But I have to make sure I don't die before that point, and I can very easily have that happen if the Aramer decides to do something really trolly, like instantly dive bomb me, which is definitely something he can do. So we've activated the checkpoint. Unfortunately, this does mean we're going to have a game over. You have plenty of continues, though. And I believe you get more, I think, as more points accumulate. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. So, now that we have our steel armor back, we need to open up the second chest to reclaim our bronze armor. From here on out, it's not really too much of a deviation from the other routes. The other first loop. The dive-bombing cavemen you're going to see, the one-eyed demons, they will spawn at a much greater rate, so it can be a little scary. I'm just going to open this. That should be gold. Good. And I want to also be careful with the bats with the pots, because sometimes they won't drop a point statue, but a weapon instead. And yeah, if you have a particular weapon, it's not going to be a duplicate of that weapon. It will be some other weapon. So we want to make sure not to accidentally grab a weapon we don't need. I'm going to actually forego that chest. And normally the patterns with these guys here is really scary because of how fast they spawn. But because we have a weapon that shoots directly above us, we don't actually have to worry about them as an actual threat. So that was actually a pretty good tower section, as I usually expect from the torch. So nothing really changes with this guy. Gonna just back off a little bit. This guy, like I said, he has a misleading hitbox, and you can sometimes take a hit, and usually that means death. Alright, so let's see if we actually have a cleaner Stage 4 here. I really do want to show off the glitch that comes in Stage 5. I'm going to get rid of you so that I don't have to deal with him. Yeah, lately my Stage 4s have been a little shaky, so hoping to not have to take a hit here. I'm gonna wait for that ghost. Yeah, so when those ghosts spawn is completely random, and what they do is completely random. I totally botched that jump. Man, do I even want to? Yeah, we'll just continue. We'll continue. I'm not going to take an intentional death and lose like a minute just to show that trick off. If you do want to know what I was planning to do, I actually do have a guide detailing about that skip on speedrun.com if you did want to know about it. But I'll somewhat try to explain it when I get to level 5. Since there's really nothing more to explain with the actual level itself. So, once again, we'll take an intentional death just so that I can reclaim steel armor and have that extra hit to work with. Oh god. This auto-scroller, the geysers tend to last for a while. Oh god, that was close. And actually, you know, that is the only difference. One little special thing, though, to know. If you jump backwards away from an enemy and get them off the screen, those little blue those, I guess, blueberries. We'll call them blueberries, since that's, I believe, what Aquas likes to call them. If you jump away from those guys and get them off the screen, they will actually despawn. And this is actually real good to have happen. It's good to actually get them off the screen, especially when you're stuck with regular weapons. I did not believe in that jump, so took it a little safe there. So, this fight, it tends to be very random what the heads actually do. Wow, the green head actually... Are you gonna come down? As I say that, Jesus. Asking you shall receive, but that was very aggressive what he just did there. Didn't take a hit for it. Right, so what I was actually talking about with the glitch is this thorn patch here. That corner there is actually really glitchy, and due to that glitchy nature, you can actually use iframes and get into the spike's hitbox. And then if you activate magic and get hit on the same frame, you actually enter the god state through that method. And that means you get to do the entire stage completely invincible. Alright, so this can be a little scary. Ugh, God. Okay, well, that's fine. Going to take yet another intentional death on this level when we reach the checkpoint. But that's fine. The Ice Worm Cavern can be a little scary to deal with when you don't have the torch, or when you don't have armor to upgrade your weapon. Or when you don't have an extra hit. Oh god, yeah, so you kind of just have to brute force your way through this, and you can jump over these guys if you know the timing, but in my situation, it's a little too risky to take that chance. Alright, so we're just gonna take another jump right into the abyss here. Reclaim our basic armor, and we will get rid of that armor, because he's going to be a problem. Spawn that chest, which pretty much would only contain a weapon. Spawn that. And we'll claim our gold armor on the next chest. Alright, so normally you have to wait in a certain position. So you bait out that bear to... the woo bear. That is the woo bear. You gotta bait out that guy's attack by just standing still for a little bit. Nice, we got it. Okay. I thought I was a little bit late or a little bit early on the spell activation. But yeah, dealing with this section with the with Torch is really nasty. You don't want to do it because the range is really bad with it. Like, it was designed with long-range weapons in mind. Alright. So, once again, since we are heading into this dungeon with, or into this level with the gold armor intact, we're gonna try to take the gold armor to the fight. Nice. Pretty aggressive pattern there, but Torch had my back. Oh my god, nice. So, I might die here. We'll see what happens. That was a really... Oh my god, that's bad. Strong patterns right there. Okay, well that's fine because we have a backup in situations like this. That does not involve re-grabbing a better weapon of some sort. I'm gonna just bait this guy out. Instead, we're going to take an intentional damage boost. And this actually causes this armor right here to not spawn because the game will not spawn more than 2 armors at a time, and the first 2 have already spawned, so the third one will not appear. Alright, so... Come on, Astaroth. That was risky. Okay. Gotta get, bait out the flame. And Astaroth trolls me. Okay, good. Astaroth. God damn it. I really don't like it when he does that pattern, and now he's getting me boxed in here, which is very hard to approach him from, just due to the range. Come on, Astaroth. You can't camp me forever. Okay, that was close. He wanted that kill real bad. Okay, so we're down to the last stretch here. This time we want to fight this next fight with the bracelet. We do need this bracelet. If you don't grab it here, you will be sent back to stage 6 to try and reclaim it. They're not cruel enough to make you go through the game a third time. Don't worry. They'll just send you back to just a slightly earlier point. Just as a slight punishment. Quote unquote. So but in order to get Goddess Bracelet to spawn, we need to be fully upgraded with gold armor, and I believe with the blue shield as well. So that's why we're going to spawn this chest here, and that will give us our blue shield. And I guess I haven't explained the shields, but blue shield actually makes magic cast faster. You also can take 3 hits with the shield, or with the blue shield, and this only counts for projectiles. And imps actually count as a projectile, oddly enough. In case you were wondering. But that is the purpose of the shield. So, if you suddenly decide to run into an enemy and think the shield will actually protect you, no, don't do that. You will regret that choice very, very badly. Alright, so we have the Goddess Bracelet now. And Astaroth's really the only truly scary part of this fight with Goddess Bracelet. You can cheese out... you can actually cheese out the Nebiroth fight pretty hard, because Nebiroth, unlike Astaroth, he always does the same thing. The flames always go the same direction, and the lasers always do the same thing, so you never have to worry about whether or not the flames are going to try to track you down. They usually don't do that. Also, this fight tends to lag a little bit. Ideally, you want to fight from the right side as well, but... Oh, God! Whew. Almost too risky. Alright. I dealt with them. So, time... we're on to the last fight now. And this fight... yeah. This is kind of a joke of a fight after what we've had to deal with up to this point. Hopefully we can do a 2-cycle. This is a good pattern to get for that. Alright. Yeah, gold armor tends to lag this fight as well. And there we go. That is the 2-cycle. So time is when I lose control here. Let's see if we can... Oh, I actually should have done that from the other direction. Well, there you go. That is Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Normally, I like to time with Nico State timing. There's 2 different types of timing methods in this game. You have the SDA timing, which is when you gain control of Arthur in Stage 1, to when you lose control of him. And then that's the time that we roll with on the leaderboards. The other timing is the one that's standard, that is standard to the top Japanese runners of this game, of which includes Malcolm, the world record holder, Dice, and Honage Belmondo. And that timing is when they hit start on the title screen to when Princess Prin Prin here touches the ground. That is when time is at for Nikose timing. So I guess before I move on to the next game that I have lined up here, which is Sparkster, and it will be done on normal mode, I want to just give a nice little quick shout-outs to the Ghouls and Ghosts community. We have a Discord, and it covers pretty much every game in the series, and there are quite a few of us, and in fact, as recently as this morning, we had the weekly Super Ghouls and Ghosts race, which we do every week, well, every Sunday. Of course, for me, who lives on the West Coast, that's as early as 6 a.m. in the morning, because the ones who typically run this game a lot come from the European side. So, and another one who tends to join in those races is the world record holder who hails from Japan, and that is Malcolm, as I said before. So, in order to find a good time for us to actually do these races, of the ones who want to do them, we decided on that time slot, and it's a little rough for me to participate in it as a West Coaster from North America, but, you know. And yes, if you said Beamwise Attack, you will actually die in the credits there. And with that, I guess I will hand it off to the host, the host, as I get set up for Sparkster.